Okay, so what we have here, this is my daughter's bike. This is the 2018 Honda Grom, and this is Stinky Pinky. That is the nickname for it. So what we're going to record is her getting her new tune from the PV3. So go ahead. So we're going to have to take that cap off of here. So this is where your diagnostics port is. You just lift the little tab and pull. Okay, so that is your diagnostics port, and in most scenarios that port is going to be red. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to plug just the PV3 in. So we're going to plug that PV3 device into the diagnostics port until it snaps in all the way. And then we are going to turn the key. And what we are going to do now is we are going to send the first stock tune. So it should come up to this screen. It's never talked to the bike before. And then you'll press the big button. And then flash tune. Okay, and we're looking, that's a DJT file. So we're looking for the first STK file. It should look like that when you click on it. Okay, and then we're going to hit enter. And should see that flash ECU with selected tune file. We're going to hit enter. Okay, so what this is doing is this is going to send the stock tune back to the bike. Okay, so like we've never tuned this bike before, so we need to send that file to the bike, and that allows the PV3 to talk to the bike, the ECU. And once it does this, it's going to send a TXT info file with this bike's info back to the PV3. Okay, and then that is the file that you need to buy a licensing to be able to tune this bike. So if we were to try to send a DJT, a Dyno Jet file, tune file, over to this bike, it would tell us that we need a license. Okay, so we need this file to come onto the PV3. And then there will be a link in the description below the video showing you exactly how to buy a license and how to transfer that file back over, that your tune file back over to here, back over to this bike. I have to turn this light off because I can't see nothing.
You're getting a lot of glare.
Yeah. We're having a lot of trouble with the lighting, folks. Wow, that is nuts. There we go. Okay, so we're just waiting for it to finish up. Flash successful. Turn key to allow ECU to reset. So go ahead and turn the key and then turn it back on. We'll give it a second or two. There you go. That's good. Okay, so now it should come back up to the screen with the gauges. Now remember, your gauges are not going to work on a stock file. Okay, so now what you'll do is you'll follow my video instructions on the video below. You can click on the link in the description and go plug this back into your laptop and buy yourself the tuning license. And this will be you'll see the info, the TXT info file will be on the PV3 now. And that's what you're going to need in order to buy a license to tune this bike. And then you will drag the new license file back over to the PV3. And you can use one of the tunes that are preset on the PV3, or you can follow my instructions in that video and create your own custom tune. And you can slide that over onto the ECU as well once you move it to the PV3. So we'll take a look after we go watch that video and then come back to this video and we'll show you what that looks like on this 2018 Honda Grom. Okay, so you've seen us out in the garage. We plugged the PV3 into my daughter's bike. So that is we'll call it Stinky Pinky. That is her nickname for that bike. Okay, so and what we did was we sent that stock file over to the bike. That also sent us a file to the PV3. And you need that file in order to grab a new license to tune that bike. Okay, so what we're going to do, we have the PV3 here, and we are going to plug it into the USB port. So that is going to be right here on the side. So we'll simply plug that in. You should see it turn on. Okay, and instantly you get that folder. It should come up automatically. If not, it's going to load up just like a USB drive. Okay, so you don't need to do anything on the PV3 here. So what we are looking for, you can see it a little better. Okay, so this PV info file. Okay, that PV info file, if you open it, you'll get this. Okay, there you go. You can see it on camera. So this first information, device information, okay, and then the paired vehicle, that's going to be the married bike. So that's going to be the first bike you plugged in. And then you scroll down through all this stuff, and you're going to come across this ECU model, ECU serial number. That right there is going to be for the new bike. Okay? So that is how you read this file, this info file. Now, if you watch my video that's in the description below the video, click on the link, and that video will show you exactly how to be able to buy a token and how to be able to get a custom tune. So it'll show you how to grab a file from here and get it into the C3 software. So that's from DynoJet Power Core. And then you will be able to build your own custom tune, put it back onto the PV3, and send that back over to the bike. So that's exactly what we did. We followed those steps in that video, and we built the custom tune. Okay, and you can see here, it says Stinky Pinky Tune down here. So this one that I'm on. So that is her new tune that we custom built for her through the C3 software. And now you're going to see us go back out in the garage, and we have her license file. So you will see here, Stinky Pinky license file, and then Stinky Pinky tune. Okay, and then Red Rocket license, Red Rocket tune. So that is how I was able to tune both of those bikes with my PV3 device that is already married to my bike. Okay, so you have to go in there and you have to purchase as many licenses as you're going to need, and it is going to ask you for that PV info file from each bike. So again, in order to get that, you're going to have to plug the PV3 into that bike, send it a stock tune, and then it's going to send you back the PV info file. And then after that, you need to plug this in to your computer and put this into the C3 software where you go to buy your license. Okay, so just watch the video down below. It explains everything. I wanted to cover this in detail a little more. So, because this part is not all, this is where we're plugging it into the bike and you're seeing it actually happen. That is not in that video. So you can always refer back to this if you're not following along. So anyway, there you go. We'll go out in the garage. We'll plug the PV3 back in. And as you can see here, get this to focus. We click here and click the flash tune. You can see here, Stinky Pinky tune. That's that one right there. Okay, and the license files are not going to show up in this list. So there's the Red Rocket tune, and then there's the Gromzilla 181 Big Bore Kit tune. Okay, and you'll see that they are DJT files, which is a DynoJet tune file. Okay, and there's that stock file that we sent over to her bike. Okay, so I hope this helps you out. This is exactly how you will get the TXT file from a second bike, or a second bike, to be able to tune it after you buy a token. Okay, so we'll head out to the garage. Okay, so now that you have followed those video instructions and we come back to this white 2018 Honda Grom. You can see it's got the pink accessories with it. So this is the Stinky Pinky. So now we've created a file called Stinky Pinky Tune, and that is for this bike specifically. And now we have the license on the PV3, and that info file, it doesn't matter if it's on the PV3 or not, it's going to recreate it as soon as we plug it in. So we'll go ahead and plug that in now. So we have our PV3 now. Okay, so we're going to plug it back into our diagnostics port. And once you understand how to do this, you can do it within 5 minutes. So we'll go ahead and turn the key. It is able to talk to it, and we do have our info file and everything. And now we have our license file. So you're going to hit the big button. Okay, main screen here. Okay, you're going to go to Flash Tune. Okay, and now we're going to look for that Stinky Pinky tune file. So go ahead and scroll down to that. Okay, so Stinky Pinky Tune, DJT. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and enter. And then you can see here, this is everything that we have written in the text field in the info file for the bike when we were making our tune. So you can scroll down through that stuff. You can see there, stock exhaust, Chimera short ram air intake, rev limit set to plus 450. Stock is 9200, so her rev limiter is now 9650. Okay, and then air to fuel ratio is, I've set it up so it's 13.8 air to fuel ratio. That should be perfect for her bike. And then we have advanced ignition timing, 2.14 and 2.15 degrees on the ignition timing. Okay, so now we're going to go hit enter to start the ECU flash. Okay, flash ECU with selected tune file. We're going to go ahead and enter. Now I know that that video that's in the link in the description, that is roughly a 25-minute video. It will not take you that long once you understand exactly how to do it all. I just wanted to cover everything, and I wanted to do it step by step so someone brand new to this could understand exactly how to do it. So maybe there's some stuff in there that you already know, and that's perfectly fine. So you got to remember, there is some people out there that are going to go buy a brand new 2019 Honda Grom, and they're going to come out and buy one of these because they just put an exhaust in an intake, and everybody's telling them they got to have a fuel controller, and flashing your ECU for $400, this is going to be the best way to go about it. And if they say that guy buys the bike and his wife owns the bike as well, and he wants to flash a tune to her bike like what we're doing here, you can do a second bike. You can do as many bikes as you'd like, but you will need the licensing file in order to do a tune. So these are the first steps that you need to do by plugging it in and getting that STK file. You need to send that stock tune to the bike. That way it can talk back and forth with the PV3. Because I know in that video I did not show this part. I talked about it, but I wanted to have another video where we show this part of it. Because as you can see, writing to the ECU can take up a little bit of time. I didn't want that video to take any longer than it already did to make. Okay, flash tune successful. Turn key off to allow ECU to reset. So go ahead and turn it off. Maybe count to 10. Probably don't need to, but that's probably the safest bet. Okay, we'll go ahead and turn it back on. And it should come back up to those files, and now as you can see, the gauges are working. Okay, and then so you do have that throttle position, everything working fine. And as you can see, if you can see those gauges now coming on and everything's working, obviously your tune was successful. So now we'll let my daughter take this for a rip around the block, and we'll be able to notice some big differences. So anyways, that's all I wanted to show you today. I just wanted to cover everything. This video is strictly how you get the TXT info file onto the PV3 so you are able to tune a second bike. Again, this PV3 is already married to my bike, and now it has tuned this white bike, Stinky Pinky, and it is tuned the red bike, the Red Rocket. So you got Gromzilla, Stinky Pinky, and Red Rocket all tuned by the same PV3. Obviously, it costs $200 a piece to tune the second and third bike, but that's how you do it. Anyways, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Have a good day.